came from, so I can do that. You know?
Yeah, and you don't want to tell that story because we get enough of that.
No, that's right. Did you see that
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jasmine, entrepreneur and multimedia personality, and today we have no other than Cortez, business owner, travel enthusiast, author. Tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Well, yeah, I'm Cortez. I've been driving trucks about 9 years. Got into the dispatching probably like 3 years ago. So, entrepreneur lifestyle, just investor all in.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so you've grown up, you're born and raised in Durham, and I'm sure you have seen Durham evolve and change and has just become into this progression of this new metropolis.
Right.
How were you able to assess that into your business and like make it grow to what it is today?
I kind of just took time for myself, got alone, just stop, put yourself in like a little corner and just kind of like focus on that dream, that vision, Hanging out was one thing I had to stop doing.
Okay.
It was a big thing, partying and stuff, just being honest, and just kind of focusing because a lot of stuff going on around Durham, Biggest thing I think in Durham is kind of like parties.
Parties?
Yeah, it's a lot of colleges. So.
That's true. Some people would say that is a really good networking opportunity.
Right.
Would you say that there's a way for you to combine the business and the pleasure of like that partying aspect to further your business?
Yeah, it would be, you can kind of do it's like, but you have to come together with finding like that stick to the person. But
Okay.
it's more so they looking at just having a good time every weekend, just, turning up, as they say,
Balance.
Yeah.
Balance.
Yeah.
So earlier you mentioned your process of isolation. Some people say that is helpful. For some people, it say isolation is the devil's playground.
Right.
So how were you able to, again, bring that balance of, okay, this is the time I need to recenter, but this is also the time where I need to get back in there and try?
I kind of like, most of the times, like, I drive trucks over the road.
Okay.
So when I'm in that truck, it's like peace.
Okay.
So it's like, I'm driving, just kind of just quiet, just coming up with ideas and stuff like that. So people are like, what you doing this weekend? Well, I'm going on the road. Because that give me time to kind of come up with things,
Okay.
'Cause I feel like when I was at home, it was kind of hard to get that isolation, But yeah, just driving, put myself in a place by myself, maybe reading a couple books, you know what I'm saying? So
You mentioned books.
yeah.
And we did say that he is an author.
Right.
Tell us the name of your book and what inspired you to write it.
I got 2 books. First book is Learning the Trucking Industry.
Okay, tell us about that one.
So I was doing, I trained dispatchers. So I got people used to be like, oh, why can't you take your class? Because I got kids at home, or I just don't have the time for it. So I said, you know what? I'm going to write a book about it.
Okay.
And I'm just going so they can get the book for cheaper and stay at home and just get the knowledge. Everyone should get this knowledge. It's good. It's a good investment. So that's why I read that. That's why I wrote that book. You know what I'm saying? So the next book was the switch up. It's like where I came from and where I'm going now. It's like a journey. I came from like, doing other things I wasn't supposed to be doing, just being honest, to kind of switching up to like, okay, let me go into a different story now. Because I want to be able to show somebody we can get from there to another place. So it's kind of like giving people faith, giving them inspiration, just motivation. That's what my second book is about,
That's amazing. For your first book, how were you able to get the audience that you needed in order to like put the information out there? Because you have a great product and
Right.
it is something that people need, but what if people don't know?
Right.
So how did you make sure that people knew, hey, this is invaluable and I'm really offering it to you as a gift to really put it out there and further the community? So how were you able to do that?
I kind of started focusing on like the social media.
Okay.
When I see people post about, I got a class for like $300. Well, I go to the post and I'll be like, hey, you can grab the book and just sit at home and do it. It's kind of like the market and advertising. I start studying it like, man, $300 is kind of hard for a single mom with, kids. It's like, okay. But they really excited about learning about it. So I said, yeah, let me just start marketing and advertising about it and putting it out like that.
So you were saying that you're not really just focusing on one demographic. You're focusing on a wide demographic because when you're thinking of trucking industry and dispatcher, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna think of a male-centered audience. But your first thought was the single mom that wants to, further generational wealth for her family. How did you decide that, hey, this is an untapped market that I need to get into?
I kind of like started looking at too, like a lot of people like give social media. I wish I can just stay at home and ain't got to go to work every morning. And I started saying, oh, well, they can do that. You know what I'm saying? So, and there was a lot of women saying that. Men was like, okay, cool, I can stay at home, but I get bored. Well, I know men, they'll drive some trucks, it's cool, but lately I've been seeing a lot of women getting into this industry, and they're growing, and growing. So I'm like, I'm gonna focus on the women too, because they're like single moms at home. So it's like, I kind of was putting my more, focus on the women when I was doing it. Because I'm like, stay at home job, make good money. That's like number one. People's like, oh yeah, let's go, So
I feel it because in this world, everyone wants to think ahead. They want to think about the future of their children and their children's children, and they want to make sure that it's something sustainable. How would someone make sure that once they read your book and they got into the industry, they could sustain themselves throughout?
staying focused.
Okay.
Keeping the good energy around. Anything bad, kind of stay away from because it'll sidetrack you. You know what I'm saying? And just focus on that goal. I tell people, write down your goal and check it off.
Okay.
Just staying focused on it, because it gets hard. Trucking is not an easy industry to be in.
What would you say was your biggest challenge in getting started?
Just driving trucks, leaving my family and kids.
Okay.
That was my biggest one. I mean, on the road, LA, and I got family saying, hey, we finna throw a cookout. Hey, I'm like, man, I'm all the way in LA. It's like I'm missing out on the cookout, the family event. So that was my biggest sacrifice and kind of the hardest thing I did.
It kind of sounds like isolation was a journey for you too. Like you said, isolation is that part where you find that inner peace, but it don't just come to you instantaneously because you realize, wow, in my journey of wanting to grow and do better and do for my family, I have to make sacrifices.
Right.
And so outside of those sacrifices, what would you say has been some of your biggest wins?
Ooh, they come here and there. Just getting my CDLs, that was the biggest. Just coming back home, getting a business started, getting a truck, and then gaining the opportunity to teach people.
Okay.
I mean, that was a really big win for me because I can give knowledge to people, Because I always said back like, man, people don't know. So I'm like, I can give out knowledge. That was a big win for me because I'm like, okay, cool. I'm teaching somebody something. They're gaining, they're winning, So that was a big win too.
You know what we call that, ladies and gentlemen? Servant leadership. Okay? Understanding that the gifts that you have are not for your own and that you are supposed to be impacting the lives of those all around you. And for that, I applaud you. And I'm so very, very proud of you. And I'm so happy to see how much you're going to continue to grow. So with that being said, what are some highlights or some things that people should be looking forward to in your book about the journey to pivot?
Well, the switch up, the book, you kind of can look at that book and be like, okay, I remember, back in the day, Cortez. But seeing him now, it's like, okay, this is a good journey because, like, I could do the same thing. It's kind of like, just, it's a big old, it's a change for me. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people I talk to, and they just like, I'm staying here, I can't get to focus to go somewhere else. And I just like, read this book, give you motivation, read my story. It's going to tell you, it's going to inspire you, kind of. So when they read this book, they're going to tell and be like, okay, I can really switch up. That's why it's called a switch up. I ain't got to stay at one point, you know what I'm saying? So
what's next for Mr. Cortez?
Well, I'm getting to now, I'm focusing on writing a children's book.
Okay. Told y'all, he's an author. Yeah. Don't play with him.
Yeah, I'm focused on the children's book.
Okay. Can we get a little bit, you don't guys have everything, but can we get a little, like, what should we expect?
I'm just going to say this. My kids are going to be the picture. They're going to draw some pictures for me. They're going to be the picture people for me.
Oh.
So I'm going to put it in there for, It's gonna be all right. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna say that. I don't want to
Okay.
get too much of it,
All
but it's gonna be
right.
a good
All
old story
right.
for the kids.
I love that. Are they gonna help with like the writing and all that stuff too?
I'm gonna make them. Yeah, they're gonna be all in it with me. Yeah.
That's amazing. We have so many people, just Black entrepreneurs and Black artists like Victoria Monet. Her daughter just got her first Grammy, and she's not even 5 years old.
Right.
Beyonce has Blue Ivy in all her projects. Master P started his kids well long before all those. So it's
Right,
really
right.
cool to see how, as a community, we are getting our children way more involved in our business. Because I can say there are a lot of people that are first generation college students. They're first generation this, that. And that's amazing. That's a blessing. But there comes a time where you got to stop that.
Right.
And we have to take the initiative to say, I don't want to just be the first. We need to be third, fourth, fifth, sixth. And in order to do that, they have to be involved.
Wow.
You know, and I think that's so important. And so you spoke about how you had a past and how you didn't allow your past to interfere with who you are striving to be today. How were you able to heal that past version of yourself to be prepared for who you are now?
It was a big step. I had to find peace within.
Okay.
That was the biggest thing, and I tell people you have to find peace. You know,
Okay.
sometimes people deal with trauma, you know, childhood trauma, whatever trauma you got going on. Sometimes you have to sit down to yourself and say, I'm going to let this go because I want to make something better for my kids, my community. So that's how I kind of got into it. I started thinking more of outside the box. I want to go down the line farther. I'm going to
Okay.
find that peace. So I keep peace.
Okay.
You know, I tell people they come to me a drama, so I just be like, hey, look, you know, it's okay, but I can listen to you, you know what I'm saying? But I'm going to kind of veer away from it because it kind of messes up your routine when you hear a lot of stuff like that. Bad energy, you know?
That's true. Did you do therapy or anything like that?
You know, isolation.
Really?
Just sitting down by myself, getting on the truck ride, just thinking. Cut my phone off sometimes, just, you know, just keeping it, you know, quiet zone.
That's real. I do, personally, I go to therapy, but I also journal.
Right, right.
And so because I know there's power in the tongue, but there's power in your writing as well, because you write the vision, you make it plain. And so from what I'm hearing, that was your choice. You had isolation, you had time to think, to reflect, and then you wrote the vision and made it plain. And not only did you do that for yourself, you decided this is a gift that I can share to other people.
Right.
So that's amazing. Have you had any testimonials from the people?
Yeah, I have. Probably like a couple of them. Like, it was crazy because the guy was, you know, just deep into the game, you know, and he just like, man, I read that book, it gave me so much inspiration. I was like, what did it make you feel like? It just changed my heart. I got a warmness. And I was like, whoa, that was crazy, you know, so it made me feel good knowing that, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, okay, I'm inspiring people. Maybe they can get into this and then get in trucking or get into this, get into book writing, whatever, you know. But to get out of that one situation and know you can keep moving, it's the best thing, you know.
I love it. I love it. So we have author, we have, so when you're doing your travels, are you ever thinking about vlogging it or blogging it or talking about the different like experiences that you get from each city that you go through?
Yeah, I was gonna start doing that, do more like YouTube and stuff like that. Just putting it out there, you know. Somebody can say, oh, shit, you know, that's Cortez, or that's how you change the tire, blood flaps, just kind of little things, you know.
Oh,
Because kids love it.
they do.
Oh my God, they watch the YouTube all day long about trucking. Every time I'm going on the highway, they just, you know, and I'm just like, oh my God.
I was definitely one of those kids growing up. I
Right.
definitely was one of those. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I love that. So you're going to do vlogging, you're doing your book, and I think that's a wonderful way of people seeing you in multi-dimensions to let them know that you're not in a box.
Right, right.
And I think sometimes that can be some people's downfall in business. They feel like they're cornered into this one thing.
Right.
And I see that now you have allowed it to open the floodgates for all the different possibilities that can happen for you.
Right, right. Keep pushing. That's all I say. I tell people, just keep pushing. Just if you got that vision, just, keep on going with it.
Remaining steadfast in the pursuit of greatness.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yes.
That's all.
Well, is there anything else that you would like to share that you feel like the people need to know about Cortez and what's going on?
Well, I am a big supporter of local people.
Okay.
So, if you guys have anything that, is locally, or you support, anything that got people going on, just let me know.
Because you did mention that you're wearing the drip today.
Yes. So I have something, it's called Sneaker, Lover. So this is one of my good people, Tisha. She's from Durham, North Carolina. So you guys know her or see it around. It's called Sneaker Lover. Just support. It's all about support. That's how we grow in the community. We got to support each other and keep pushing each other. So, yeah.
I love it. I agree. This whole team is a team full of small business owners here in the Raleigh-Durham area.
Oh my God.
And the community that we have been able to just grow within ourselves is beautiful. You and I have already started having conversations about how we want to help each other. And this really just goes to show the type of people that, like you said, you isolate yourself, you give yourself a form of peace, and then you allow the floodgates for the right people to come into your life to bring those things into fruition. And I can say that that's a testament for myself, because I'm an Atlanta native, and I moved here in 2020, and I started my company here, and it has brought me to this place in this moment with you right now. So it is truly a power in proximity, and just knowing what's for you is for you.
Yes. It's lovely. It's good to have people, be able to help people on different situations and gain the help from people. I'm always down to get knowledge and learn new things.
I know that's right.
Elevation.
Hello? Say it again.
Elevation. That's how you do it.
Well, we want to thank you so much for allowing us to get to know you a little bit more, sharing the secret sauce. And ladies and gentlemen, if you want to purchase this book, it will be available for order very soon. We'll give you that information. And if you have more information and have questions for Cortez, he'll leave his information at the end of the video for you to reach out to him. And thank you so very much. And it's spicy.